Hello, my name is Todd Ruthier with Virtual TAS, and I just wanted to give a quick overview of our operator panel. Now, our service consists of several different interfaces. One of them is our manager dashboard, which is the place where the operating answering service managers or owners will go to create accounts, run reports, etc. We're not going to go over that today. We'll try and do that in another video. This is the operator panel, and this is where the operator panel logs in, and once logged in can receive calls on their phone and process those calls and take and submit messages to the customers. And then we've got a customer facing interface that allows the customer to log in on their any mobile device. It's basically a mobile formatted web page, and in there they can view all of their messages up to the minute. Again, we're not going to go over that one today. This is going to be focused on our operator panel. This is just a quick overview, so if you have questions, please definitely visit our website, www.virtualtas.com, and fill out the contact form on the contact page, and somebody will get back with you as soon as possible. So without further ado, let's go ahead and log in. So one thing you'll notice is that this is not an installable piece of software. So we don't have any compatibility issues between operating systems. I mean, our system will run inside of Google Chrome. It does require the Google Chrome web browser. But that can run on Windows, Mac OS. It can even run. We have operators that work perfectly fine off of a little Chromebook laptop computer, which is extremely inexpensive. Those can be purchased usually under $200, even at Walmart or a Best Buy. So not a lot of incompatibility issues. Pretty straightforward. You can log into this from anywhere with a high-speed internet connection, as long as you have your phone with you on your desk. You're ready to go without having to install any software or anything. So before we get started, let me give you an idea. The companion to our operator panel is, of course, the operator phone. And so this is what our desktop operator phone looks like. And this does not have to plug into any phone lines or anything like that. It just plugs with a network cable straight from the phone into your internet router. So as long as you have good high-speed internet access, and this plugs straight in there, and we provide all the phone services, inbound, outbound calls. We assign all the phone numbers, and so on. So no need for phone service. We're basically a one-stop shop. We provide the software, in the browser. We provide for the operators. We provide the phones. We provide the inbound and outbound calling services. Pretty much everything soup to nuts. So you don't have to go buy a piece of software somewhere and piece all these solutions together. Now, if the operator needs to work in a location where it's not convenient to the router, and they don't want to string a network cable all over the house, or if they have wiring issues, they can the operators can optionally use our cordless phones. So with the cordless phones, the base unit that you see there on the left hand side in the picture gets plugged into the router with a network cable, but the actual handset and charging base can be anywhere. I mean, the charging base obviously just needs to plug into a power outlet, but you can use the cordless handset, pretty much anywhere inside and outside the house, inside and outside the office. I mean, it's a cordless phone, so as with any wireless technology, there are limitations in terms of range, and depending on what type of walls and such, are in the office or the house, that could degrade the range slightly. But I know that I use this phone in my residence, and I can walk clear down the street about 10 houses down, and still have a good clear connection on this phone. So the wireless range on these are pretty great. So the way our service works is basically when a call comes in, the call is going to come into the operator panel. The call screen is going to come up, and I'll show you kind of a demonstration of that in a bit. And then the phone on the operator's desk rings. So you know how to answer the phone. Normally before the phone rings, or right at the same time as the phone rings, you'll get a pop-up screen in the operator panel. So let's go ahead and log into the operator panel here. Now the operator ID is usually the operator extension that's on the phone that's sitting on the operator's desk. So in this case, it's 305 for me. And then I will go ahead and log in with the operator password. Now, once logged in, there's not a whole lot going on here on the screen. We just have our basic layout. The right-hand side of the screen is this ready for next call area, and that's what we call the live area of the screen, or the live call area. When a call comes in, that side of the screen is replaced with the screen that matches the call that's ringing your phone right now. So something similar to this. I mean, you can also pull up a manual call screen if you needed to for any reason. So we'll pull up a manual call screen there, and you can see this is essentially what happens to that side of the screen when a call comes in. We'll go ahead and get back to ready for next call. On the left-hand side, you'll also see call tiles that will come in. For every call that comes into the system, there's a call tile that represents that call with a status, time the call came in, the caller ID number, and the actual, company that the call is for, which of your customers the call is for. So I'll go ahead and make a call in from a phone here, so you can just kind of have a look at this and see what this looks like. So keep an eye on the call tile, and you'll also see the screen come up on the right hand side there, the call screen. Bear with me just a second. Should have been a little more prepared. I apologize. I need to find the phone number of one of our demo accounts here. So I'm going to go ahead and dial into one of the demo accounts now. This is going to be a fake account that we have on here called the Law Office of John J. Randolph. And so at this time, you can actually hear the phone ringing on the operator's desk, so don't be too distracted by that. But you can also see the call tile that comes up on the left-hand side. Red call tiles, all the call tiles are color-coded. So on the left-hand side, you can see that, it also shows a status of waiting, but it's color-coded with red. You can see the time the call came in, the caller ID number, which is simulated in this case. But normally it's the caller ID of the customer. And then on the screen here on the right-hand side, you can see right at the top how to answer the call. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hang this call up so we're not distracted. You can basically see how to answer the call. You have all these options to, basically look through here in terms of any special instructions on the screen. Those are all listed here. And all this is controlled in the manager dashboard. So you can go in our manager dashboard, which we'll cover in another video, and you control how the screen comes up. Okay, so if your customer has said that, hey, here's some special way I want you to handle these calls, those are things that would go in the special instructions here. Okay, on the right hand side, you've got you've got a status box, which just talks about basically what's the status of this customer right now. So if you're answering for a towing company, for example, you may have the drivers call into the service when they go on duty, and then you can list that in here. Driver Mo is on call until 3 a.m. and then every time a call comes in for that customer, all the operators are going to see that status and know which drivers are on call, so they know where to dispatch that message to, or that call to. So a lot of stuff, not a ton of time in this video to go over everything, but you can see there's different tabs here. This is customer information about that customer. This is a list of the last 100 messages for that customer. We've got some call control things here in the middle of the screen. This will actually allow you to transfer this call. You could just pick the speed dial right here. It fills in the 3 boxes. You can transfer the call. You also have the ability to press this button on the screen and put the call on hold. And you also have the ability to just pick a speed dial here, or you can enter the number in manually, hit outbound call, and that'll actually make the operator's phone ring on the outbound line. The operator will answer it, and then our system will automatically dial John Randolph's number that's punched into the screen here without the operator having to punch anything on the phone itself. Obviously here you've got basic questions you're going to ask, for pretty much any customer: callback number, the caller's name. And then you've got the message box here. The message box can also contain custom questions for the customer. So if you've got a list of questions that your customer wants you to ask, for example, if they're a realtor, you may want to know what the property address is, right? Or if they're a towing company, they may want to know the color of the car that's stranded on the side of the road, so they can easily recognize it a little bit easier when the tow truck driver goes out. So basically, you've got a lot of options here. All you do is let me jump out of this screen and give you a better screen meant for demo purposes here. If we go to come and get you towing, right, we can see that, okay, after you've filled all this stuff out, here, we'll just go ahead and fill this out real quick. Let's say the caller is, oh, it's Microsoft calling, and the caller's name is Bill Gates. The message is for Harry, and the callback number is 555 444 1212. Okay, and the message is Bill Gates is broke down on Highway 1, red sports car. Okay. And then all you do over here is, in terms of where you want this message delivered to, you're just gonna check off wherever you want this delivered to. Now you notice that the top box was checked automatically, so you can determine which of these delivery addresses are checked automatically. When I say delivery addresses, I mean, an email address can be a delivery address, a fax number could be a place that you want to deliver the message to. It could be a text message, which we have two different forms, ways to send text messages. Your rep can cover that with you in terms of why we have different methods. But basically, you check off the check boxes you want, and in this case, we'll just send it to this email address, and then you submit the address, and basically that message is sent. We handle all that behind the scenes. You don't have to worry about delivering that message to the customer, and the customer will get obviously an email in this case with the message. And momentarily here, I'll drag a message over from my other screen so you can kind of see what that message looks like. So the that kind of covers the basic overview of what our system does. Obviously, there's a lot more details to it, but I did want to mention that there is another screen that the operators will work off of, and that is the operator tools screen. Okay, so when they click on operator tools, this is basically a screen where you can do anything. The operator can do anything that's not related to actually processing or handling a call right now, right? So they're going to, up here in this tab, they're going to handle and process their calls and send messages. Over here, they can do things like they can look for messages. So, if we look at the last message we sent, right, we can go here to come and get you towing. The screen gives you a list of customers. Okay, we can click on message list, and we can see all the messages for this customer. Okay, with basic details on each. And this is the last message we sent. If we click view here, okay, we can see all sorts of details. We can see the actual message. Okay, we can see details about the message, the operator that took the message. We can even see where it was emailed to, right, or where the message was delivered to. In this case, it was sent to this email address. And it does say that the customer has not yet confirmed receipt of the message. Now, what does that mean? That basically means that when each customer gets a message either by email or text, let me let's just show you what this message looks like. Okay, so this is basically what the email looks like when your customer receives it. So in this case, come and get you towing would receive this email. Okay, and at the very top of that, there's a link that they can click. It says, it's similar to this, got-msg.com with a number at the end, and that number at the end is the message ID. So if you look here on the screen, it currently says that the customer has not confirmed receipt of the message. And if this is an important message, you may want to call or text or get in contact with that recipient of the message to make sure they got it, if it's a really important message. In this case, that kind of eliminates the need for the operator to keep contacting the customer and find out if they got the message. In this case, the customer can just simply click that, okay, and they get a real simple screen, as you can see here, either on their computer or on their phone, on their smartphone. And then the next time you go in and look at this message, you can see now that it says customer confirmed yes. Okay. So lots of other things to see in here. You can make follow-up notes. You can make follow-up calls. So if you needed to call the tow truck driver to go pick this person up, you can make a follow-up call to driver Harry. Just select it. It fills in the phone number for Harry for his cell phone, and then you hit outbound call. As soon as you hit outbound call, it'll make a follow-up note in here that basically indicates that which operator made a follow-up call at what time. It'll time and date stamp it, and of course it'll ring the operator's phone. The operator picks up the handset and or presses the headset button, and then our system automatically dials Harry's cell phone for them. Okay. Of course, our system doesn't know what was said on that call, so it is up to the operator to go in here to the follow-up notes and say something like, called Harry, he is on his way, ETA 20 minutes. Okay, and then if you go ahead and click add follow-up, you can see what a follow-up note actually looks like. Okay, it time and date stamps it, shows which operator made the follow-up note, and what the actual note was. Okay, so there's also other things like, is follow-up required? If you say follow-up is required on a message, when you take the message, there's a little checkbox on that screen. You'll notice that it shows up in the follow-up screen. Okay, so this, if you go to the main screen here, you can see that there's a follow-ups button. Anytime you hit that follow-ups button, it's going to show you all the follow-up calls, basically any call that needs to be followed up on, or anything that requires activity or requires work will show up on the screen, and that's a list of all the follow-up calls for all your customers. And so you can go in here, and there's the message we were working on. Then when you're done handling everything for this call and there's nothing left, you take it out of the follow-ups by hitting that switch, and then that's going to take it out of the follow-up list, and that will let all of your operators know that there's no more work to be done on that call. Okay. I think for this video, we'll go ahead and cut that off here. We wanted to do a basic overview of the system, and I think we've kind of covered that. Please feel free to get in contact with us by going to our website at www.virtualtas.com. Fill out the contact form. If you need pricing, go ahead and click the instant quote at the top of the page, and we'll send you, full pricing details. And appreciate you watching. Have a wonderful day.